Hi guys, welcome to Fluently Speaking with Paula. My name is Omobolanle Adeshe. Today we're going to be doing something really interesting. Every edition, of course, is always interesting, but today we're changing or tweaking it a little bit to bring some more fun. And today we're going to be doing some reading. I'm going to be reading you a story. This is An Echo in the Darkness. An Echo in the Darkness by Francine Rivers. By the way, Francine Rivers is a very fantastic author, and sometimes when I get the time, I like to read her books. Okay, so let me also inform you that one of my friends, Ayo Durojaiye, does this very well. She has a book club, readers club with Ayo. You can hook up with her on Facebook. I'll probably link that up in the description box so you can get to join her. She does fantastically well in this area of reading books and also engaging the viewer and the listeners. Okay, so let's look at this book, An Echo in the Darkness. It is by Francine Rivers, as I said, and we're going to be reading the 38th chapter. 38th chapter. Okay, I think it has about over 50 chapters, right? Yeah, it has over 50 chapters, so we're going to be reading the 38th chapter. Now, why are we doing this? We're doing this to pick up new words. I'm going to be highlighting some of the new words up here with their meanings. I'll put their meanings there and also pronounce them properly. I'm going to put the transcription up here so you get to see the correct pronunciation even if I get it wrong, because I'm not perfect, okay? Okay, so let's get on with this. Chapter 38. Hadassah brushed Julia's hair with slow strokes. She noticed the coin-sized patches of baldness, another manifestation of the venereal disease. Julia had been very agitated today, suffering acute pain from the ulcers. Hadassah had given her a small dose of mandragora and added a special blend of herbs to her bath. Now Julia was drowsy in the afternoon sunlight, at ease. A breeze stirred the vine leaves, bringing with it the strong smells of the crowded city. Running her fingers down the silky strands, Hadassah began to braid Julia's waistlet hair. When she finished, she laid the braid over Julia's shoulder. "I'll get you something to eat, my lady." "I'm not hungry," Julia sighed. "I'm not thirsty. I'm not tired. I'm not anything." "Would you like me to tell you a story?" Julia shook her head, then glanced at her hopefully. "Can you sing, Lady Azza?" "I'm sorry, my lady. I can't." Infection and trauma had damaged her vocal cords so that she could only speak in a rasping voice. "I can play a lyre." Julia looked away. "I don't have a lyre. There used to be one in the house, but Primus smashed it to pieces and then burned it." She had been glad at the time, for the instrument had been a reminder of the slave girl who played it and sang songs about her god. "I'll ask Prometheus to purchase another one." Julia put a trembling hand to her forehead. "Don't waste your money." She gave a sad laugh. How much had she wasted over the past years? When she thought of how much she had had, she could scarcely believe she had come to live like this. Hadassah put her hand on Julia's shoulder. "It's the fever that makes your head ache, my lady." Prometheus had set a small table beside the couch, on which sat a bowl of scented water and a small stack of rags. Hadassah wet one and wrung it out. She dabbed Julia's face. "Try to rest." "I wish I could rest. Sometimes I hurt too much to sleep. Other times, I don't want to sleep because I dream." "What do you dream?" "All sorts of things. I dream about people I've known. Last night, I dreamed about my first husband, Claudius." Hadassah stroked her forehead and temples. "Tell me about him." he broke his neck when he fell from his horse. She relaxed under Hadassah's tender care. She felt like talking about the past today, unburdening herself of it. He wasn't a very good rider to begin with, and I heard later he had had several goblets of wine before coming to look for me. Hadassah put the rag aside. "I'm sorry," she said. "I wasn't," Julia said in a flat voice. "Not at the time. I should have been, but I wasn't." "Are you now?" "I don't know," she said, and worried her lip. "Yes," she said softly after a moment. "Sometimes." Would Asa condemn her? Julia waited, tense. Asa reached over and took her hand. Julia was so grateful. She gripped the woman's small, sturdy hand tightly and went on. "It was my fault in a way. You see, he was looking for me. I had gone to Ludus to watch the gladiators practice. I was mad for them. One in particular. I had asked Claudius to take me a dozen times before, but he didn't approve. All he really cared about was his studies about religions in the empire, and I was bored with all that, bored with him." She sighed. "I never would have married him if my father hadn't forced me. Claudius was 20 years older than me, but he acted even older than that," she went on, trying to justify her actions. But the more she talked, the more unjustified she felt. Why did what happened so long ago plague her so much now? The incident with Claudius was only one among so many others. Hadassah put her other hand over Julia's. "You were very young." "Too young for him," Julia said. She let her breath out softly on a sad laugh. "I think Claudius loved me because I looked like his first wife. But I wasn't anything like her. What a shock I must have been to him after the first few weeks of marriage. Do you know what his wife was like?" "I never met her, of course, but I gathered she was gentle and kind and shared his passion for learning." She raised her head, looking at the veils, thankful she could see the face behind them. "I was none of those things. Sometimes I find myself wishing." She shook her head and looked away. It doesn't do any good to wish. "What do you wish, my lady?" "That I had been a little kinder, at least." Hadassah wanted to embrace her, for it was the first time Julia had admitted, even with a twinge of remorse, about anything. "I don't mean I wish I had loved him," Julia said. "I never could have loved him. But if I had been," she shook her head. "Oh, I don't know." She closed her eyes. "There's no use in it, I suppose. I've been told it's useless to dwell on the past, and yet that's all I seem to have left. Visions of the past. Sometimes we have to go back and remember the things we've done and be cleansed of them before we can go on." Julia looked at her bleakly. "To what purpose, Lady Asa? I can't change what happened. Claudius is dead, and that's that. And it will always remain partly my fault that he is." "It doesn't have to." Julia gave a harsh laugh. "That's exactly what Calabar said." Hadassah was startled. "Calabar?" "Yes, Calabar Shiva, Fontainus." "Oh, I can tell you've heard of her." Everyone heard of Calabar. Her mouth curved into a bitter smile. "She used to live here with me. She was here almost a year. She was my lover. Does that shock you?" She yanked her hand away. "No," Hadassah said quietly. "Calabar said we don't have to regret the past. All we have to do is set our mind on enjoying the present." She gave a caustic laugh. "I told her about Claudius once. She laughed and said I was foolish to have any regrets. Perhaps she was being foolish now, telling Asa so much. Alright, so let's leave it there for today. And don't forget, as I said earlier, that the essence of this is for you to learn new words, learn their meanings. There are some old words which you already know their meanings, but you'd also learn how to pronounce them, the correct way to pronounce them. And that's the essence of today's reading session. It has been fun for me reading out to you. I hope it has been the same for you too. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.